With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, dear listener, and welcome to another Dockers Debate show. I am your host, as always, Michael, with my Robin to my Batman. It's Rob Grant.
Watch out.
And this slight impromptu podcast was decided because Rob can't be bothered to go pre-season, but he can be bothered to talk about fixtures.
That's not entirely fair, but, get your digs in where you can,
Listen, the truth should never get in the way of a good story.
True.
As most red top newspapers know. But yes,
bleeds.
Yeah, but this is just a show just to look over the fixture list for our second season in the Isthmian South East. But just quickly before we start, not been the worst start to pre-season so far, has it? I'm looking at the grid, Rob, all greens.
Yeah, all greens. It's like nothing but wins. I mean, you can't really argue with that. It is as good as it gets when it comes to playing games. All you can ask for is that you win. And it's pre-season, so ultimately it's all about just minutes in the legs and all those kind of cliches and everything. But at the same time, if you're winning, you're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. And, looking at results now, 3-0 against Holmesdale, 3-1 against Sutton. We were there for that game. 1-0 against Kennington, 3-0. Which was at?
Doing something else, having a party or something. I don't know.
Yeah, 3-0 away at Stansfeld and 2-1 away last night at FC Elmstead, which I was at. How do you think, from what you've seen at pre-season so far, we're doing? How are we looking?
I think there's elements of it that's looking really good. We are playing nice football. What I've seen is we're doing some really nice passing the ball around. We're dominating players. The new guy at the back, Dexter Peter.
Yep.
I mean, apart from the fact he is a unit, but he looks really good. And it looks like him and JJ are going to have a nice little thing going at centre back between them. So that's looking good. And it's amazing how many of them have come back from holidays looking really sharp, looking really on it, which is...
Makes a nice change.
Yeah. So all in all, for me, and bearing in mind it is only pre-season and it's about minutes in the legs and not getting injured and just getting some match fitness in, it's looking okay. But then again, it's not that long until the first proper game in anger.
Yeah, and do you know what I'm quite happy about with the pre-season so far? And I know it sounds really stupid because obviously we've won games, so I can't make myself sound any more silly, but we're scoring goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could play 90 minutes against someone. I mean, you watch us be the kiss of death now, and the next 3 we don't score. But, if you think in 5 games, what's that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 goals in 5 games. Granted, yes, okay, they're tier 5, tier 6 opposition, and this weekend Newmarket's going to be a real test. But that's a good goal return against, they're no mugs. When we went to see Sutton the other day, without trying to divulge too much information on ex-players and potential trialists, etc., there was quite the amount of familiar faces in successful periods with this team.
Yeah. And I thought the same. I was watching Kennington. Kennington was a hard game because they made us really work for it. And it was only 1-0 in the end. But we found a way. We found a way to break them down. And H stepped up with his usual aplomb and stuck the ball away. And once we got on top, it never looked like we were ever in any sort of trouble. So, which is good, which is what you want. So,
Yeah.
so that not, it's nice to sit there and go, it's all wins, but it hasn't all been hard. It hasn't all been easy, rather. Some of it's been quite hard work.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. Looking to the season that's coming up. Do you think we spoke yesterday and last night after the fixtures come out? Do you think they've been generous to us? Because when you spoke to Woody last night after the game, he's obviously holding his cards to his chest. He doesn't want to get too carried away, which rightly so. Um, but I remember when the fixture list come out last year, it was like, oh God, Ramsgate away, then Margate away. And there was a lot of travelling, like sort of one after another kind of things. And I know sometimes games get rearranged and there might be waterlogged pitches, so Saturdays moves to Tuesdays. I think if you're a neutral or someone who just likes Erith, it's a really good. The way the fixtures are fell this year makes it really exciting because if you look, the first 5 games that Erith have got in the league. Now, Woody touched on this last night. First game, Hastings United, one of the favourites who went down last year. Whiteleaf got promoted last year and were in the FA Vase final, I believe, at Wembley. Herne Bay, one of the teams who absolutely battered Erith Town last year, home and away in the cup. Let's not beat around the bush. VCD, local derby, just got promoted. Crowborough Athletic just got promoted from combined counties. So in the first 5 games, you've got three newly promoted teams, one relegated team, and the team who always there's goals in those games.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone's sat there massaging the fixtures to make sure that we get an easy run. To be fair, the conspiracy theorist in me thinks it's probably the opposite. But if anything, but
That's a tough start, Like you've
I
got.
don't.
I
I mean,
mean,
three newly promoted teams who are, probably. I mean, I don't know because I haven't looked, but they're going to be trying to find new players who can step up to this level. They're going to be looking for what other teams are getting rid of, and if they're getting rid of players, there's a reason for it generally. So I always think newly promoted teams are, unless they go on a tear, like a bit like we did last season, unless they go on a tear first thing, I think they're decent fixtures to sort of to start off with. Um,
yeah,
the one, the AFC Whiteleaf is going to be it's going to be a weird one. But in the middle of all of that, and this is the sort of the disruptor, is we've got an FA Cup game.
yeah,
I think the biggest problem is not so much the caliber of the opposition in August, it's that we've got 6 games. Um,
yeah,
and six
including the
games,
FA Cup. Yeah,
yeah, if you include the FA Cup
because
game.
that's the opening weekend of the season, the FA Cup on the second, but that could go to a replay. Um, I personally, and this is just me as Michael Avery speaking, not on behalf of Adam Woodward or the owners or the chairman or anything like that. I think Hastings United first day of the season is really exciting because they've just come down and we are going to be absolutely buzzing for that first game of the season.
Yep.
And they're going to want to put a team out there and show why they want to go back up. And we're going to be like, do you know what? Let's give it some. They're one of the favourites. And Erith Town always do well against the big boys. We might be on the unfortunate side of a result, but like we saw last year when we went on that run of having like Ramsgate, Margate, Burgess Hill, within like 4 out of 5 games, we played Burgess Hill twice. We didn't come unstuck against those big teams.
No, not at all. And I think it's not about the big teams. It's just that we play because we're better as a team. We've always said this. We say this time and again. We're better when we play football. When we've got the
Mm.
ball on the ground and we're passing it around, we are a good side. When we come up against the teams that are just like launching it long and we're having to defend deep because we can't get, that's when we struggle. So when we come up against supposedly the big teams, it's not that we do better against the big teams. It's just that we can play as good football as any other team that wants to play football. And I
Yeah,
think that's what it comes down to in the end. And yeah, you want to play football with us, we'll play football with you. But if and,
yeah. I
and
think that. I think.
I think
Go
that's the
on.
key to it.
Yeah, I think that's a good start to the season. So as a neutral anyway, and I think that's definitely one of the places you'll go. And just on touch it as well, Adam Woodward said it a little while ago in an interview. He said that, Erith Town are a big club now. And do you know what? I think if you see how the pre-season's gone so far and the aura around the team and the club, I think he's right. So we are going to go into this, the ground's going to be a fortress, and I'm looking forward to the start. Moving into September, our good friends at Dill, who've got a song about our podcast, in the FA Trophy. Merstham at home on the 13th. Sheppey away on a Tuesday. Another trip down the
Yeah,
A2 to
Sheppey is always
Sheppey.
on a Tuesday or
Well,
something like
apparently, I've a conspiracy theory because it's one of our more local games. A 50-mile trip down to Sheppey.
that.
Faversham at home, again, one of the newly promoted teams. So we've got two of the newly promoted teams within a couple of weeks of each other, with VCD as well, two old Skeffel boys. And Sittingbourne on the 27th, who I think that's going to be a very tough game, because we'll be, about 10, 11 games into the season, including the FA Cup, FA Trophy. Sittingbourne have been the bridesmaids for 2 years in a row now, Rob,
Yeah.
and they'll want to be righting that wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's going to be this is where it's going to start getting really tough, because the other thing about September is at the moment it's 5 games, and that includes the FA Trophy game against Deal. But if we end up with a replay from the FA Cup and then we end up having to cram that in there somewhere, then that's when it starts to get, or we get a game cancelled because somebody else has got a replay or something like that. Then it starts to get, you're shuffling the pack then to try and keep everybody, fit and happy and active and all the rest of that kind of stuff. But nothing on there scares me. Nothing about Merstham or Sheppey or Faversham or Sittingbourne scares me particularly. I think we're a
Yeah,
better team. From what I've seen in pre-season so far, we're a better team than we were last year.
yeah. I
Um,
think,
so-
I think, yeah, I think you're right. I think the thing is with this level as well is that, as soon as, no, with no disrespect to anyone who went down last year, or if any of the divisions moved around or anything like that, but there really are no mugs this year, especially what we saw last year. I mean, Dill had a great end to the season. Our good friends down there, Sheppey, they've always been there or thereabouts for the last couple of years since they got promoted, 3, 4 years ago now.
yeah,
Faversham, they just missed out. They lost in the playoffs, obviously, last year. I'm sorry, year before last, and then went on to win the league. Strong side, and Sittingbourne are there. I'm looking at this. The Faversham one jumps out to me. I'm not going to lie. I thought we had some great games against Faversham a couple of years ago. The away game. I think it was 3-2 when Ryan Mahal ended up having to go and goal. Keeper broke his hand, and then
yeah.
obviously down at home as well. I think that was a tight game. There was a last minute winner for Faversham, wasn't there? So, that would be a good game. Dill. I always think Dill's got a bit of a feel of a local derby for it, considering it's a couple of miles away. We always get
Considering
fired
how
up for
many
the Dill
times we
game.
played them in that last season we
Yeah,
were in Scaffold.
18 times in one league, in one league campaign.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Merstham, Merstham, I thought, when we played Merstham as well towards the end of the season, I said to you, didn't I, when they left, I said it would be between them and Burgess Hill would go up. It was in the playoffs, so it was Sittingbourne, Burgess Hill, Margate, and Merstham. And
They're a
I
slow
said,
starter though, Merstham, aren't they? At least they were
yeah,
last
and I think
season.
and I think when we played him in the FA Cup preliminary last year, that was a bit of a meh game, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was what that was. October now, looking to October, Eastbourne Town, worst chips in the league, but nice people.
Yep.
At home,
And it
AFC
is the
Croy.
seaside, and hopefully it's not going to be that cold.
Well, we're at home that game, so let's not get too
Oh,
carried away.
yeah, sorry, that's it.
Um, October the 11th, AFC Croydon Athletic away.
Yeah.
Weird ground. Still stuck in a time loop down there.
Yeah.
Sheppey again at home.
What's
So we're
that
playing them.
long track that you have to drive down to park your
Yeah,
car?
with all the
Just
potholes.
you
Yeah.
go along, you
So
think, where am I going? Where
yeah,
where is there a football
yeah.
ground around here? And then suddenly there it
Where?
is.
Yeah. Where is Michael Myers about to jump out and get me? Because none of the
Yeah.
lights work down this road. Sheppey United at home on the 14th. So playing Sheppey twice within a month. Hassocks. We
Yeah, we
went
welcome
back.
our good friends from Hassocks.
Yes, there was the guy that did the blog. I can't remember his name now. He was down there. I wonder how that blog's going. Like William to Wembley or someone like that. I can't remember what it was. And Ashford away. I quite like Ashford's ground on the 25th. This is where the legs will start feeling tired, and this is where you might see some new faces come in. Um, I think that's a tough month because Eastbourne, they're no mugs. We played them down at their place. Croydon Athletic, they'll use the aesthetic of their ground, and we really struggled down there in that 0-0. I remember last year. I think that was one of the last games Hayden Bullis played for us as well. I remember Hayden. He was one of the bright lights in that game. Sheppey at home, so it'll obviously be dependent on that away game goes. Hassocks, interesting one. I didn't mind it down at Hassocks. I thought a nice little ground. I think they won the league last year, Hassocks, didn't they? And Ashford United, slow starters last year, but finished the season well.
Yeah, and I think my thing with Hassocks, nice little ground. We did well down there, I think, if I remember rightly. But maybe, I don't know, they seem to be up and down in this league, then go drop back, then this league, then drop back. So maybe that's their level.
Yeah.
Maybe they're that. Once again, I don't really know, but it appears from the outside that they're too good for where they were and not good enough to stay up, as it were.
Yeah.
That perhaps to some teams. Yo-yo, I believe they call it.
Yo-yo there, yeah. So going into November,
I don't have any. I mean, I think we were
that,
really desperately unlucky when we went to Eastbourne. I think because we gave away they got the winner in like the dying minute of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just, by that time, I think everyone had sort of mentally shaken hands on a draw, and then they went and mugged us with a minute to go because we switched off.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I think with October that it's starting to get a bit cold. Winter's creeping in. Legs are feeling tired now because you'll have played quite a few games by then. Obviously, the recovery isn't the same as like the pro game or the high levels of the non-league pyramid. So. I think the only real advantage you've got for October is we've got quite a lot of home games. So there won't be, even though Croydon's not a million miles away and Ashford's not, again, the longest of drives, it's not as if, where we had that period. I think there was a period, I can't remember exactly what month it was, but it seemed we were doing a lot of travelling. There was a lot of away games. So that should be good.
My name is Happy Gilmore. I haven't swung a club in years.
You know what you got to do. Grip it and rip it.
Gilmore. Everyone is talking about the comeback kid, Happy Gilmore.
Happy Knee.
Yeah, baby.
Happy Gilmore 2, only on Netflix July 25th. Rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet for a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Going into November, Three Bridges. I remember we went down there. They gave us a royal hiding down at their place, and it was one of the games that wasn't great at home. Sevenoaks Town away. I think that was our first 0-0 for a long time last season. I think it was around October we played. That's also my birthday. Sevenoaks Town away. Whiteleaf on Remembrance Tuesday, Remembrance Day away. So that's a bit of a slog. Margate at home on the 15th with, I'm guessing, the woman behind the goal that screams every 5 minutes.
That the one with the drum?
Yes, exactly, yeah. Broadbridge Heath away. We had their manager on for the call. Nice guy. I remember him.
Yeah.
See if he's still around. I think he is. I think they had a good season last year. And Hastings United on the 29th. So a bit of travelling, but
it's another month with 6 games in it, and that's not including like once you start getting the cup games and stuff thrown.
Yeah, like the London Senior Trophies and all that you get, or London Senior Cup, should I say, not Senior Trophy. You get.
And I'm not entirely sure when the assuming we get past the qualifying rounds for the FA Cup or FA Trophy, where does the next round? Where's the second qualifying round? Where's the first
Yeah.
round proper and all that stuff?
By then, when you get to November, that's when you actually start looking at the second round proper of the whole cup. So I don't think we'll be in it then. But you never know.
You never know your luck.
Stranger things have happened. Yeah, strange things have happened. But no, I think that's going to be a tough. That's going to be another tough one. You know, the Margate there, Three Bridges again. But again, it's similar to what you say, Nick. You talk about the new teams who are coming up, but it's also those who are still around because if you've looked over the years and the way the table was, I think it was Lancing 2 years ago. I think then they finished on like seventh or eighth, and then they finished bottom last year.
Yeah.
Or so it's not just the teams who are. It's not just the teams who are new and on the way up. It's also those who are who want to establish themselves. December, right? Okay, so there's always a thing when you're a football fan, dear listener. Rob will tell you he's a Liverpool fan by trade. I'm a Millwall fan by trade. But there's always games you look for. You always look for the home game. The first game at home, which is ideally the first game of the season. The last home game of the season, hopefully the last game of the season. Boxing Day, New Year's Day. But if you're an Erith Town fan or a member of the Isthmian South East, Jersey away.
Yeah, Jersey away. We were hoping for August. We were hoping for August or possibly the other end of the season, maybe at the end of April, beginning of May. And what do? They give us Jersey balls December.
12 days before Christmas.
Thank you very much. So just before Christmas, stick your hands in your pockets and blow a monkey on going to Jersey if you fancy seeing it.
Sorry, love, I can't buy you those diamond earrings this year. Yeah. I'm going to Jersey, but I could get you something in what is it in the duty free?
Yeah, it's.
Are you going if you're asked?
I'll have to sit. It's like I'm like everybody else. I'm gonna have to sit and look at the pennies and see if I can make it work. To be honest, I'm up for it. It's not every day you're going to get to go to Jersey or watch a football match, and I don't know if there's any other teams in Jersey.
Don't Jersey do that thing where the Jersey team plays the Guernsey team, and they're the only two teams in the league, and they play each other like 25 times. And
isn't that the what do you call it, the Faroe Islands or something? They play on a rock.
Something like that. I'm sure it's Jersey.
That's one of them.
Yeah, but I'm actually a lot of people look out for that. Because obviously, it involves getting a plane. But do you know what? As really silly as it sounds, this sort of shows that, and I know it's Jersey balls and everyone laughs and jokes about it and get on planes and all this malarkey that comes with it. But it probably shows the level you're at now. If you was an Erith Town player from the days of the leisure centre and like before I got involved, when we went down there and I used to watch with like Nick Hart and other people, would you have, if you could have said to the committee within 2-3 years' time, you'll be promoted to the 4th tier, just 2 divisions below the National League, and you'll be flying away to Jersey, what would they have said, Rob?
They'd have laughed in your face.
Well, they do that a lot now.
Well, true. But yeah, it's a turn up for the books, to be fair. I think when we found out Jersey were going to be in our league, I think the first thing the chairman did was count how many people he was going to have to stick on a plane to Jersey, and then add it up because that's a big one, isn't it? It's a big ask.
Yeah. So, but there's only 4 games in December. So, Deal Town in the league.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, assuming once again, we don't know where the cup games are going to fall, but we've got a week off, sort of between the 20th when we play Crowborough and the 27th, the day after Boxing Day, which is Beckenham Town. So one of 2 things will happen. Either they'll come back for Crowborough with too much turkey and mince pies inside them, and they'll be running through treacle in that game, or they'll have had a week off, kept themselves trim, and they'll be well rested, ready for Beckenham Town.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's quite interesting you said that. I was talking to Harrison Firth a lot at the game yesterday, and he seems to be in the latter camp where he sort of seems quite sensible and looks after himself. So at least the goalkeeper we can guarantee will be in good stead. But yeah, Deal Town at home, Jersey Bulls away, Crowborough again at home, and then Beckenham Town away. I mean that's an okay little draw with that. I think that's quite happy. I think you'd get some good points there. I'm not going to say which teams because obviously
the games against Beckenham were good games.
Yeah. And they've got a good little they've got a good little fan base down at Beckenham. You know, there's quite if you're a Millwall fan, there's quite a lot of familiar faces down there. So I always look to Beckenham as well. New Year, 3rd of January. It's really odd. We've got VCD at home, and I remember a couple of years ago I went to go see VCD against Hastings at New Year, and for some reason I always get this weird connection to VCD, and it's always around New Year's Day. I don't know why. But VCD at home, 3rd of January. East Grinstead away. Now, that was possibly Erith Town's best all-round performance for me last year, East Grinstead away. One of the ones you missed. That was a fantastic performance. 4-0 at half-time. Faversham Town away on the 17th. AFC Croydon at home. Eastbourne Town FC at home. Now, I think, interestingly, that's sort of quite similar to Eastbourne Town and AFC Croydon in October is the same as how they are in January, just flipped, obviously. So depending on how those two games go, that could have a bit of an impact on how it goes in January.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's almost like they took the first run of games and then just handed them and then said,
No, how dare you accuse them?
Who knows? Who knows how it works? But maybe yesterday when they turned on that supercomputer up in Birmingham or Bristol or wherever it was, maybe that's the sort of thing that they use to mash out the fixtures.
You never know.
Once again, the other thing about this, which is quite interesting, is that VCD obviously just round the corner. Croydon's not very far away. Eastbourne's a bit of a schlep, but Faversham's not that far, and East Grinstead's not too bad. So, despite the fact it's 5 games and only 2 of them are at home, once again, cup games notwithstanding, it's not a massive amount of travelling.
Yeah,
in the month,
absolutely. Go on. You can run through February for us.
So February opens up on the 7th with Sittingbourne at home. And then we're away to Hassocks, which, if I remember rightly, when we played Hassocks, we had that weird time. Remember, we were talking to that guy, the blog guy.
Yeah.
It was really sunny and it started raining at the same time.
Yeah. And I thought it had a nice little clubhouse down there as well.
Yeah, but it was like having an acid flashback. It was really weird. Anyway, then Ashford United at home, and then Three Bridges away.
Yeah.
So only 4 games so far in February, but this is where the games that get cancelled because of the weather or the pitch or whatever, this is where they start to back up. So there's probably a reason why February and March both only have 4 games in them, and that's because you're going to end up having replays and things happening there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's not disastrous. There's a fair bit of travelling. Again, Three Bridges, but again, that's not a million miles away, as you say. March, we've got 3 out of 4 games at home.
Which is a major plus, because that's about the time we're going to be, they're going to be starting to be really leggy at this point. So having 3 home games is a major plus.
Yeah, and consecutively for the 2nd year in a row, we've got Deal away on a Tuesday. Saturday, should I say?
Is it a Saturday? I was going to say, I thought they were all Saturdays at this point because none of them have been moved. But yeah, that'll be the usual 2 hours to get to Deal, and then another 2 hours to negotiate the 5 miles of country lanes that actually gets you to their ground.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm looking at the league table last year, and I was looking at it thinking, where's Littlehampton? I swear they didn't go down, but again, they transferred to the South Central. I didn't mind Littlehampton. I thought it was a long old slog down there. It was a little bit time warpy in a sense. It seemed a little bit dated with respect, but what a change just moving a couple of teams and all that has made to, like, not the morale, but like I remember looking at the fixtures thinking, Jesus Christ, where are some of these places? And then when you find them, you're like, Jesus, I wish I'd never knew of these places. But this fixture seems a little bit more regional this year because, I mean, apart from Phoenix, who are around the corner, Stending Town, that is an absolute schlock. Hive, I went down there. That's a good couple of hours drive, even on a good run. Lancing, again, similar kind of journey. In Littlehampton, you jig things round a bit, make it a little bit more regional, make the travel not as draining. Mm-hmm. I think we're looking all right this year.
Yeah, apart from weirdly Jersey. How the hell did they end up in the Isthmian League South East?
Yeah,
maybe it's just because there isn't a Southwest. I don't know.
Or maybe it's because maybe it's because there isn't an Isthmian South East, Isthmian Jersey.
Well,
just
there's
for them.
Jersey has two of its own leagues. It's got a Premiership and it's got a Jersey Championship, and
Yeah, true.
there are a dozen or so clubs in Jersey apparently.
Yeah, yeah,
Given that
absolutely.
there's the Premier, there's the North, there's South Central, and there's South East, and that's it. They don't have a South West.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so and Jersey Bulls are the only team from Jersey to play in the English kind of league system, non-league,
yeah,
however you look at it. So yeah,
yeah.
it's a weird one,
Yeah.
but
We run into April. Herne Bay away.
mhm,
Again, it's nice down there, quite nice, and it'll be sunny. Beckenham Town at home on the 6th on the Monday. I'm guessing that's the Easter Monday then.
yeah,
Merstham away, Margate away, and the final game of Erith Town season is Saturday, the 25th of April.
Broadbridge Heath at
Mm,
home.
yeah. Depending on how it goes, that could be a promotion push final game.
It could be a playoff push. It could be a promotion push.
We just don't know.
Let's hope it's one of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
all in
no,
all, it's not looking like a bad fixture list. I mean, you look at it; it's been reasonably kind,
yeah,
particularly around like Christmas and stuff like that. But I mean, and once again, we've still got to throw the cup games in there, and there will be changes and all that stuff. All of those fixtures are subject to change. Blah blah blah. Check erithtown.com for details. But uh, but yeah, I'm looking at it and thinking. There's no one on there. To be fair, there's a couple. I don't really know anything about Jersey Bulls or anything like that, but there's no one on there that scares you particularly.
no,
You know, there's going to be some tough games on there. You know that and we know them from before, so we know that they're going to be the tough games, and we can prep for them accordingly. But
yeah,
but there's no one there. I'm sitting there thinking, well, there's no way we're getting anything out of that. There's no way we're getting anything out of that because and it's probably the optimism of pre-season talking and all that kind of stuff. But I actually think we're looking good, and there's no one on there that I look at and think, well, we're not up to that.
yeah. What game are you looking forward to the most?
Interesting. I always like the local derby, so VCD is obviously one. It's always good fun because it is local and it's always busy. There's always a lot of people there. Um, Jersey away, if I get to go, will be fun and dandy. Apart from that, anytime you go down to the seaside, so anytime you're at Margate, as long as the weather's all right, or Deal or Hastings or any of them, the weather's all right. It's always you know you're going to get some good chips.
Yeah,
It's a day out. There'll be seagulls. So yeah,
yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for wrapping it up. The one I'm looking forward to most has got to be our friends at Deal. They love us. But remember, we've got a couple more pre-seasons left to go. Newmarket away this weekend. Put some money on the GGs, but we don't promote gambling on this site. Talk to Frank. I think that's a drug thing, but still, talk to him anyway. Erith and Belvedere.
BigGambleAware.com.
That's the one. Erith and Belvedere
Don't
next
forget the
Tuesday.
Newmarket game is a midday kickoff if you decide
Midday
to go
kickoff.
there. So so because it's an early one, so that everyone can go off to the races afterwards and have a day out there. Bring your flat
Absolutely.
cap and your
Yeah.
dinglets.
Erith and Belvedere away on Tuesday at 7:30. That's the Martin Tarrant Trophy, I believe.
Yeah.
So that was a good little game last year, enjoyable. And then the community fixture announced today that the 25th, next Friday, is going to be a community fixture where we'll be inviting down everyone from the local area, schools, youth groups, youth teams at Erith Town. And you, dear listener, if you fancy coming along, free entry. There's been an awful lot of work on the pitch this season. They've worked really hard, the Grands team down there. It's not just one or two. There's about 8 of us who've been going down there around the clock, cutting it, watering it, you name it, we've been doing it. And they've done very, very well. So full credit to the guys who have worked hard to get that pitch up to a good level. So, maybe see some of you on the road, but it would be fantastic to see you for the Witham game next Friday. Rob, the little
Is it
announcer's
Witham
come up.
or Whittam?
Whatever. Witham. Tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. Whittam, I think it is. You're right, Whittam. Because I was thinking, why did Adam pronounce it so accurately last night? But so thank you very much, dear listener, because the little pop-ups come up that we've only got a few minutes left to go. Rob, anything you'd like to say before we go?
Up the Dockers.
Up the Dockers, great way of finishing it. So thank you very much, and goodbye all.
Tra.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Remember those endless summer days that felt like they just last forever? Sun rays kiss your skin. Grass tickles your toes as you bite into the creamy popsicle melting in your hand. Pure, unbothered bliss. Capture more sun-drenched memories with the Orange Vanilla Dream Hydration Multiplier from Liquid IV. This nostalgic vanilla flavor with notes of candied orange can help keep you hydrated while savoring your favorite golden hour moments. No matter how hot your summer gets, just one stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you better than water alone. It's 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, with 8 vitamins and nutrients for refreshing on-the-go hydration. Live your summer dream with Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code INDULGE20 at checkout. That's code INDULGE20 at liquidiv.com.